Hello, dear subscribers. Welcome back to YouTube channel Maral Life. Rapunzel. In one kingdom, there live a husband and his wife. They want to have a child very much. The wife hopes that one day her wish will come true. In their house, there is a little room with a little window. They can see a beautiful garden with wonderful flowers from this window. But around the garden, there is a high wall, and no one can go into the garden. It belongs to an evil witch. One day, the wife stands at the window, looks into the garden, and sees some Rapunzel that grows in the garden. It looks so green and fresh that suddenly she wants to taste it. This wish becomes very strong day after day. Soon the woman begins to look thin in the pail. Her husband asks her, "What troubles you, my dear wife?" "Ah," replies the woman, "if I can't eat some of the Rapunzel that grows in the garden behind our house, I'll die." The man loves his wife very much, so he decides to bring her some Rapunzel. As the night comes, he climbs over the wall into the garden. There he picks some green Rapunzel and brings it to his wife. She quickly cooks some tasty salad and eats it. The next day the evil witch comes to their house. "How dare you come into my garden," she says to the man, "and pick my green Rapunzel? You will pay for it. When your wife has a baby, give it to me." Soon the time comes for the woman to have a baby. The evil witch comes, names the baby Rapunzel, and takes her away. 12 years later, the witch shuts Rapunzel up into a tower in the forest. There are no doors in the tower, only a small window at the top. When the witch wants to get into the tower, she stands near it and shouts, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, wake up! Let down your hair for me." Rapunzel has beautiful long golden hair. When she hears the witch's voice, she lets her hair down. The witch climbs up the hair. Some years later, a prince rides his horse through the forest where the tower is. Suddenly, he hears some singing. It is so beautiful that he stops his horse and begins to listen. Who is singing? It's Rapunzel. The prince decides to climb up. He begins to look for the door in the walls of the tower, but he can't find it. He stands behind a tree and waits. Soon the witch comes and begins to shout, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, wake up! Let down your hair for me." Rapunzel lets her hair down and the witch climbs up. The next day, after dark, the prince rides on his horse to the tower and shouts, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, wake up! Let down your hair for me." Immediately the hair falls down and Prince climbs up. Rapunzel is scared of him, but he speaks so gently that the girl is not afraid anymore. And when he asks her to marry him, she says yes with joy. "But I don't know how to get down," she says. "When you come to visit me next time, bring me some silk. I can make a ladder of it. When it is ready, I will climb down. Then you can take me away on your horse." But soon the witch finds out that Rapunzel wants to run away from her. The angry witch takes Rapunzel's beautiful hair and cuts it off. Then she takes the poor girl deep into the forest and leaves her there. Rapunzel lives there alone and miserable. The witch ties Rapunzel's hair to a hook and the window. When the prince comes and begins to climb up, she unties the hair. The prince falls down and some thorny bushes thorns put out his eyes. Since that time, the blind prince wanders around the forest. He eats berries and herbs and cries about the beautiful Rapunzel. But once he hears a beautiful singing again. It is Rapunzel singing. She sees the prince and begins to cry. Two tears fall on the prince's eyes and he blinks to see again. The prince takes Rapunzel to his kingdom and they live happily there.